Good afternoon and welcome to the 2026 Easton Foundation SoCal Showdown. Here we are live in Southern California for the third of 4 USAT qualifier series events. This is a record breaker. No other USAT event in the series history has ever had more participants, and they have been in full view this week in fabulous weather conditions. Richard Fleming alongside Olivia Martin. Olivia, Recurve, we will see them first up. Give us a sense, because, and I'm sure you can probably hear the breeze against the microphones. Yeah. We're in a little bit of a pocket of wind here. You have competed here, obviously, over the last few days. You've been based here as part of the program. Just talk us through some of the conditions that we can expect over the next few hours.
So in this afternoon, pretty much every time on this field, the weather is really consistent and the wind is really consistent here in California. And on this field specifically, there is always this left to right wind, and it always gets stronger as the day goes on. And since we're all the way on the left side of this field one, we'll get some weird wind, because you might be able to see on the camera at some point, but there's this outbuilding right to our left, and the wind is blocked by this outbuilding, but all of this on the right side is all strong gusts. So there'll be some weird behavior with the arrows. The archers might aim off further, expecting them to be needing to account for more wind, and then their arrows land a little bit more on the pro side than they're expecting. And it'll just be some weird wind that they're not necessarily going to be able to read straight away unless they've shot here before.
A huge thank you to our presenting sponsor, Win & Win. They are here. They've been here over the last few days. We're going to start actually with Recurve, then Compound, and then Barebow. So Recurve at 70 meters, and it's going to be Jenny Mucino-Fernandez against Alex Chula Vista. That is the Salt Lake Summit winner from last month, and then last year's SoCal Showdown silver medalist. You know these two archers very well. You know yes. Jenny particularly well, a teammate on the World Cup circuit. Just talk us through the kind of contest we can expect with that one.
Oh, I think it'll be a good one. It's fun. It's a little bit of a match of the programs. Alex obviously represents our resident athlete program out here in California, and Jenny represents our North Carolina program from the East that I'm a part of. I think it'll be some really good shooting. I think we're going to see a lot of 10s. I think it'll just be a fun time.
And then we will have Jack Williams against Nick Demore. Again, two other vastly experienced archers. Nick will be part of the team with Olivia, with Jenny. That'll be heading off tomorrow to Mexico for the Pan Am Championships later in the week. And then we will go from 70 to 50 meters. And this one is fascinating. It's the compound division, and it is two names that are familiar to those within the circuit, but for those that have been watching the compound gold medal matches over the last few years, two names that you may not be too familiar with. Baretta Mckee, who is just 19 years of age, and she has only stepped up to the senior division over the last few weeks. And then Leanne Drake, just 20 years of age. So a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old in the compound women. And then the flip side to that, vastly experienced, a repeat of the Gator Cup, the compound men, Jimmy Lutz against Mike Schloesser. Schloesser getting the gold on that occasion. Of course, Gator Cup was when Jimmy Lutz got the world record. And then we're into Barebow. Barebow will have a 16-year-old. Number 1 seed, Medina Otajagic against Cindy Zacco, and then Alex Vera and Lance Long to wrap it all up. You obviously are familiar with Recurve. You work in a compound shop.
Yeah.
These conditions, the competition, I mean, is this location doesn't get any better in terms of world-class facilities. We're going to see a show this afternoon.
Oh, always. SoCal is always good conditions, good weather. The wind is pretty consistent from year to year. It's always nice.
So let's look to introduce, I think, the first set of archers. I think we can get them underway. I'm just going to give them the signal away to my right-hand side that we can get started, and we're going to bring them out, the first ones. And your week, how has it gone over the last few days? And obviously, you know, at some point, did you meet either of these? Did you meet Jenny or Alex along the way?
In this event, or
in this event, what was your pathway, and at some point did you meet these folks?
I did not meet Alex. Alex was on the complete other side of the bracket. They are gesturing at me to talk faster. I can see them both yelling at me. But I did meet Jenny in the semifinals. She beat me 7-1, and I got bronze, and she's now shooting for our gold medal match. But other than that, they were pretty far away from me on the field this event.
Yeah, right in your line of sight though, and they were encouraging you
Oh, yeah.
to hurry things along. They want to get things moving, and as we're looking there on the screen, there you've got Jenny on the left-hand side, and Alex on the right, and I believe Alex defeated Casey.
I want to say yes, she did.
I think
yes, she did.
Was her pathway to the gold medal match. We can give you confirmation on that.
She was on the complete other side of the field in the bracket for me, so I wasn't keeping very good track of.
And I think that was so that was at the quarter-final stage. Alex Aleta-Vissa defeating Casey at the quarter-final stage 6-2. Jenny needed a one-arrow shoot-off to get through her quarter-final match against Haeyeon Choi. So that was a 6-5, and we see there you beat Samantha Ensign 6-2, and then obviously came up against Jenny, who's going for 2 in a row. Alex is looking to go one better than a year ago. So again, just talk us through this breeze. We've talked about it in the kind of the preamble. It's picked up a little bit, and we can see there's some great experience behind both of these archers in Chris Webster and Elias Cuesta. Yeah,
so just a little high on that first shot from Jenny. Jenny obviously and Alex have both been out here previously a lot, and Jenny used to be an RA out here, so I think both of them will have a pretty good sense of the wind out here. Yep, just a little bit left. So that is an example of potentially aiming off further than she was expecting to need to, and hitting pretty much where she aimed, and probably that one as well.
A little bit of misbehaving, and I kind of talk about this, I think, when we've come here to SoCal Showdown, because and it was different for Recurve this year. Recurve is normally on this field.
Yes.
You guys were on field three. This is field 1. Field 3, which is further away, and it's going in the opposite direction.
Yes.
So, is there an adjustment process with that for these archers? The fact that they are shooting in the opposite direction to what they've been doing the last few days.
Absolutely. There'll be some sun shift. They might not be quite used to seeing the targets as lit up as they are right now. They were a little bit more in the shade, especially towards the afternoon when we were shooting our qualifications yesterday. And the wind was going the other direction, obviously, on that side, going this way. They're aiming off on the other side of the bale on that field. So there may be some shifting, just trying to find where they need to put their pin on this field to get their arrows to hit the center, because they figured it out on that field, and now they got to figure it out again.
And what about the scores? I know some of the Recurve archers, because at the end of qualification, they'd walk past. I'd say, how are things? The scores weren't great, and they weren't just talking about themselves individually. They were saying kind of across the board, because it was just a different layout for them to what they're used to. How did you find that switch? The scores, I'm not saying the scores weren't great, but they maybe weren't as much as what the expectation was.
They were, in general, I think everyone was maybe used to field 1 or field 2 with the wind going one direction, especially the resident athletes out here, and everyone who's consistently come to California. They might have just been ready to aim off on that left side of the bale, and then been surprised when they had to aim off on the right, and the sun's in a complete different direction, and it can just be a little bit startling, maybe a little bit out of the ordinary, and enough to throw them off. And I do also think that sometimes when the wind is not as strong as you're expecting or different, you can psych yourself out and think, oh well, I can finally put my pin in the middle. Maybe I'll just do that, and they get so stressed out trying to put that pin in the middle, and they can't quite hit the center.
You're almost second guessing. I mean, Alex will be, and Jenny as well, but Alex will be very familiar. I mean, she's based here.
Yes.
Does that give you an edge?
I would say if we were shooting on field 1, absolutely. They have every single day to get a gauge of the wind and the conditions, but because the compounders almost always shoot on this field and the recurvers are moved down to field 2 usually, or as in this case, field 3, I don't think it gives them as much of an edge as some people assume that they get.
So after that first end, Jenny taking the 2-point lead, 2-0. And just for those that may be not familiar with the scoring system, it's the set system, just give us a summary of what we can expect to see and what is required from an archer to take the victory.
So with the set system, it's first to 6 points. Each set you can earn up to 2 points. If your arrow values down at the target are equal, then you'll each get 1 point. Higher values wins. and it's to 6 points. So unlike compound, where you'll get cumulative scores, here you can shoot 3 bad shots and then still win the match because you just lost the first set and you shot good shots the rest of the event. So it is a little bit forgiving in a way of being able to throw a bad shot like Alex shooting that low 6. I'm not sure what happened on it, but she can shake it off after this set because it'll be unlikely that Jenny, as a good shooter, will give up enough points to give that set to Alex. She can still come back from that set.
So she's going low. It's
yes.
And so there's a 9-8 and a 6 there.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like another 2 points heading the way
of Jenny. Yeah.
Of Jenny. So that'll be a 4-0 lead for Jenny. But as you say, that is not a lead that Alex cannot come back from.
No.
But it's interesting looking at this. You've got Chris Webster and Jenny Mucino-Fernandez based in North Carolina. And then you have Ilias and Alex both based here.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach, the national coach for the United States, and the assistant in Chris Webster. Fascinating, the dynamics, but also just that vast experience that you've got with those two coaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the expectations for you coming up this week, you head to Mexico, just a little under a year since you made your senior debut for the US.
Yeah, for the World Cups. Yeah.
How is that evolution of your technical and kind of mental side of the game? Is you kind of stepped up a level, and you've, I think, now been to 4 World Cups.
Yes, yeah.
And you've got the Pan Am Championships coming up this week.
Yeah, it's been a big learning curve, especially with the team that we're traveling with. Pretty much everyone on the team is vastly more experienced than me. Of course, the whole team for the women's side, all 3 of them have been to 2 Olympics and shot excellent scores at World Cups for years, and it's been a learning curve for me to not put the kinds of expectations that I might want to put on myself competing with such experienced shooters and trying to stand side by side with them and shoot a lot of 10s. And it's been learning experience for sure of how to raise your expectations without necessarily putting extra unneeded pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
Here we got Alex shooting first.
The sunglasses on and just trying to keep focusing. I mean, look, again, how much of that from an archer? Because the last 3 were going low.
Yes.
She's obviously made that adjustment now. That one's gone a little high.
Usually you do want to kind of overestimate if you don't know exactly how much you need to. There we go, nice 10. If you don't know exactly how much you need to move your sight, it is better to overestimate because then you can split the difference coming back. If you just slowly move it, it'll take a long time to move your sight to where it needs to be. And there we go.
And a 9 and an 8.
Just a little high.
Jenny looking to go back to back, having won Salt Lake Summit. And don't forget, of course, the winner, and Jenny is already confirmed, but Jenny, one of 12 archers confirmed for the USAT Series final. That'll be coming up this August. That'll be the top 48 archers in the senior division across Barebow, Compound and Recurve. So Jenny already confirmed as the winner at Salt Lake. Alex looking to obviously fight her way back into this contest, but also confirm her name in that event as well.
Yes. And there we go.
But it looks like Jenny is going to be
got that.
Top once again. A hug for Ilias. Oh, sorry, for Chris.
Yes. Good shooting for sure. Lots of 10s.
And a big hug between the 2 archers. They all know each other very, very well. And we'll get to hear from Jenny shortly, having won back-to-back. And how? What does that say about? Because you guys travel a lot. And it's not just domestic tournaments; it's international. How much of that are you looking? We're waiting for Jenny. How much of that do you look at that side of the sport as well, just maintaining that form? How much do you look at these, whether it's the Caseys, the Bradys, even if a different bow division, looking at, yes, I can do that, 2 or 3 times a week. Can I do it 6 or 7 times a week?
Yes, it is rough to maintain, especially during the travel. The jet lag can be crazy, especially coming back from China, going straight into Salt Lake. That was rough, but obviously you make the best of it. You try to get lots of sleep and try to shoot quality arrows, since you won't always have time to shoot as many volume of arrows as you might like.
Jenny is walking down to her position, and we'll get the headset on.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jenny is just putting the headset on. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hi.
Fantastic.
Hey,
You've
Jenny.
got a lovely little mark. Now, first of all, thank you for hurrying us along. I know you were giving the signals there for Olivia to just kind of get a move on, because I want to get going. And you've wasted no time. You talk us through that performance. Having won in Salt Lake, you win here. Just talk about through just the form that you're in.
I'm really happy. Salt Lake was, I want to say, the first tournament this year that I have shot really well. And I have really tried to maintain that feeling and just what I'm doing through, practice and obviously through a tournament, which, clearly work, and I'm really happy about it. But a huge part of it lately has been just trusting myself and trusting the process, as corny as it sounds. But no, yeah, I'm really happy.
Conditions? Any didn't seem that you had too many concerns with the conditions, but as we can probably hear now, that wind is picking up. Did you have any issues early on in that contest?
I mean, it is really windy. Some of those arrows I was in the blue, at least solid in the red. I think it was the first arrow, maybe of the second set, that the wind was just blowing me around, and I just, again, have to trust it and send it, and it was 10, so it worked.
Yeah.
And that's got to set you up nicely for the trip to Mexico in the next few days. As a team, again, just as a team, what are the expectations? Clearly the hope is success, but what are the expectations heading to Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, we have the same team as we did last year, which we performed really good. I think this year we have, we have individually been struggling a little bit, which hasn't allowed for the team to come together. But I think going to Mexico, we have a really strong team, and Pan American Championships, I think we go gold.
Absolutely.
100% we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Olivia will be joining you this week. Jennifer, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations once again, the SoCal Showdown winner for 2026. You're already confirmed for the USAT Series final, but you've got another gold in the USAT Series qualifier. So congratulations.
Perfect.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Yeah.
And you, Jennifer Mucino-Fernandez. And what, again, with a lot of you archers, very unassuming, and yet she steps up there, and that focus comes down, that kind of steely resolve. And we kind of alluded to it a little bit just before. The technical side, of course, you'll continue honing. Coaches are obviously going to improve. How much can fellow archers help the mental side? Whether it's preparation, hydration, sleep, what they do away to kind of keep their focus. What are you learning from that?
There's a lot to drawing a line of when you can mess around and have some fun after hours versus when you need to draw the line and say, okay, no, I need to head back to my room. I need to eat these things, avoid these things, drink this, to just take care of myself and make sure I'm ready to perform, and just learning a lot about how you can best manage yourself and when to practice and how much to practice. I think a lot of people at their first World Cup especially will make the mistake of shooting too many arrows and over practicing, and after a while you learn, you shoot your arrows and you trust that you've got it, and you step out on that field and you put your arrows down and see where they go and trust that what you can do is enough.
Absolutely. Well, we are ready for match number 2. Again, in the recurve division. It is the men. Jack Williams on the left, Nicholas Damour on the right-hand side. And Nick will be heading to Mexico as well this week. Jack, who has been on the international scene for a long, long time, but he has fought his way through to the gold medal match. And I think one of them was Trenton Cowles. He defeated en route. Trenton was defending champion. But Jack Williams will step up here. And obviously, Nick, you know, internationally, he used to be with the US Virgin Islands. He stepped across. He's part of that team now. And there's a lot of just depth and competition. We've mentioned with the compound women, the age is getting younger and younger.
Yes.
Again, something else as we see Nick get us underway here. Something else that just keeps you on your toes. You can't be too comfortable.
No, you can never be too comfortable, and getting comfortable is what will cause you to start to throw less tens, really, and then you'll find that there is someone new who trusts themselves and trusts what they're able to do and can throw a lot of tens, and if you're not careful, you'll start missing those tens. You'll lose that confidence in yourself, and you you won't win against them. So you have to stay on your toes.
Nick with a strong start with a 10. Jack landing an 8.
Just high, yeah.
Oh, and then Nick heads to that right-hand side as well. A little look away to the side. Just gathering his thoughts once again. See what Jack has learnt from that sight of that first arrow.
Yep. Now, an interesting thing here is that both of these archers have spent a fair amount of time in California. Obviously, Jack lives out here and trains out from the center, and Nick was a part of the resident athlete program briefly here.
So another 8 there. So 26 for Nick. Let's see what Jack can do. Maybe take the 2 points.
Yes,
and he will do.
Be enough to do it, yeah.
With a 27, 26. So Jack Williams with the 2 points to open things up. Talk about this for those that, and it's a little bit tricky to do justice to this facility. We're giving you as much of a kind of a surround look, but we've got accommodation for athletes. We've got a gymnasium, an indoor range. Just talk about this facility and just how much of an advantage it is to have this to develop our archers.
Absolutely. The resident athlete program is an incredible feat. The Easton Center, obviously, here that we've been based out of here. Field 1 is their 70-meter main practice range outdoors, and you can get a little bit further than 70 meters if you'd really like out of here. And then the indoor range, it has indoor 70, which is a massive advantage to be able to still shoot 70 meters all season long, indoor season if you'd like, when it's cold outside, although it never really gets cold in San Diego, which helps. And if it's raining outside or the weather starts to get gross, or if there's a storm happening, like a hurricane or something, which I know there was something like that here last year, you can still shoot 70 meters indoors. And it can be nice to tune out to 72 indoors with no wind.
And being on site and being around your teammates. Again, it's that bonding, it's that team building, but it's also that sharing of best practices.
Yeah, and it is true that competing with the best makes you better. And they're the best out here. They are all able to push each other and help them grow. And then there's obviously, you get to live on campus, which is pretty nice to be able to walk down here, not have to drive, not have to commute. There's healthy food in the dining hall at all times. It's pretty nice. And there's a gym in there, which they do get work on the gym.
California sunshine, you can't beat it.
Oh, no, you cannot.
Okay, Nick, to get the second end underway, trailing in this one, the second of our 6 matches.
You can see how windy it's getting with the camera moving.
Wobbling
nice
with
10.
He's landed the 10. Now can Jack Williams respond, leading by 2-0, having won that first end, 27 points to 26.
Yes, he can.
Yes, look at that one. It's now a case of just trying to match.
That was a rough finish, but it landed.
Just talk us through that reaction, just that follow through from Nick there. What was going on?
That looked like a collapse of some kind, but I think he got lucky with the arrow, leaving the bow before he really had that reaction, so it still landed only a touch low.
Okay, well, so 1 point advantage. 19 plays 18 in favour of this man.
And that was a rough finish as well, but it still lands.
There we go. So we're going to be all square. The best that Jack can do will be 28. Nick has got 29. So it will be 2-2.
There we go.
27 there. So 29 plays 27. 2 points apiece at the end of that second end between Nick Demore and Jack Williams. There is Nick puts the... Am I seeing things? Did he put the sunglasses back on, having taken them off?
Yes. He probably put them on to stand, waiting until he shoots again.
Well, and that's interesting because the eyes have got to kind of reaccustomed to the sunlight.
A lot of shooters can't shoot with glasses on, so it's usually the nose. They can't quite see past it with their head angle. So a lot of them will put the sunglasses on to protect their eyes or shield their eyes from the sun when it's bright outside, but then they'll have to take them off when they go to shoot.
Wow. So the next few days, you travel tomorrow.
Yes.
That's early flight?
It's
not too bad.
10 o'clock. It's not terribly early.
Well, that's okay. And then unofficial practice Tuesday.
Yes.
And then you're straight into official practice. And then when does Recurve?
Recurve will qualify. That should be that Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
Or no, Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be an afternoon.
Sometime this week.
Sometime this
week.
And
yes. A belated happy birthday for you
thank you.
last Wednesday. So spending it here, and of course, if you're joining us and you have kids and you are a father, a happy Father's Day.
Yes, I said happy Father's Day to my father out on this field.
Your dad is here.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day.
Mm.
We're spending it in the sunshine in California. So this one is nothing to choose between them. 2-2. Nick DeMoor will get the third end underway, having fought back in that one with 29 points. And did well to land that 9. As you say, it looked a little bit untidy, but
yeah, and that's a long hold. He's getting blown around by the wind, but it still lands decent.
Lands a 9. Jack Williams, who, as you say, is just up the road in Orange County.
Yeah.
And spends a fair bit of time here. Knows the facility very well.
Yes.
He's landed a 9 as well.
And I think I saw him adjust his sight there, so he might just feel like his shots are low. Ooh. That was a strong finish into the wind. He got blown over.
Okay, let's see what Jack can land here, having made some adjustments. And we're hearing the frame around us is beginning to squeak a little bit.
Yeah, there's a big gust, so he's holding long. Yep. Yeah, that was the right decision there. Try to hold as long as he could with the amount of time he had to shoot, so that he could wait for the gust to be over, hold his spot, and shoot.
Great effort there from Jack Williams. Let's see what Nick can do, just to maybe put a bit of pressure on Jack's final arrow, and he's done what he can.
Yes, with, again, that funky finish of looking like he's collapsed the shot and then sending it right into the middle.
27. Just a little wobble there. Great camera shot looking right back at the archer. We can see any of the movement. And it looks like he's done enough. 28?
Yeah,
28 to 27. So a 4-2 lead for Jack Williams. A little fist bump.
Yeah, a good battle going on here.
And is that Nick's father behind him?
Yes, that is his father.
Okay. There's some pearls of wisdom coming from his dad on we just mentioned on Father's Day.
Yes.
Won't want to let his dad down.
Yeah. And I'm not sure who's standing in Jack's coach's box, but Nick and his dad do a fair bit of traveling. Nick's dad came with us to Turkey last week.
Oh, okay. And again, what people may not realize, and this is the sport of archery, is that kind of steely, stony face that Jack, you guys, you don't give away the personality, and you guys have got phenomenal personalities. There's great characters, but you wouldn't think it.
Yeah.
Looking at Jack now, it's like you wouldn't want to cross him, but that is kind of the focus. How much of that is something that you're continuing to work or continually working at? It's like, that goldfish approach. Forget the last shot.
Yes, absolutely. There is a lot of mental game to it. A lot of people will say that archery is 90% mental, and I would go so far as to argue that it's 99% mental. Once you've mastered your shot, it's about holding yourself accountable for that shot, trusting it, and really just being able to shake off a bad shot and take the information of the last shot and shoot one arrow at a time. And there's a big thing that my Coach Chris, has said to me a lot, is that a truly good shooting day, you'll step off the field mentally exhausted, even though physically probably didn't do as much as people might expect you to have done.
So 9 there for Nick DeMoor with his first arrow of this fourth end.
Yeah.
Trailing 4-2. And again, a little hold there. He's dropped it into an 8.
Yeah.
And it's that goldfish approach. He's got to put that one to the back of his mind and move on.
Here we go. I think what's happening right now is that the wind appears to be dying. The windsock looks like it's not blowing as much, so they might not be aiming off as much, but the wind is certainly blowing their arrows off target. And there we go. Nice 10 from Jack.
So we've had 2 9s, so it's 18, plays 18. Obviously, if they share the points, that's 1 point apiece.
Yes. A nice 10, a good group down there.
So that puts the pressure on Jack, who needs a 10 to share the spoils and make it a 5-3 game. The eyes are locked in. And he's dropped it short, so it's 2 points to Nick Demore. That is a 4-4 contest. The best he could do was equal. I mean, that was a massive arrow from Nick Demore to land that 10. And as you say, the pressure goes or went back onto Jack Williams.
It is always rough to shoot second, which is why the man down usually, or the man up usually does.
And this is not a consistent wind either. Whether it's up or down, but is it moving in the same direction?
I would say largely on this field it is. It's not ever really does head or tailwind, especially with the way we have this field blocked with the Easton Center behind and that berm behind. There's pretty hard for us to get head or tailwinds on this field, so it's usually pretty consistent pushing on a crosswind.
If you're just joining us and you're thinking, I'm sure they started at 2 o'clock Pacific time, but it's Recurve. Yeah, we are starting with Recurve because there's certain individuals that we've mentioned needing to be places. There's certain individuals that need to get to an airport and depart. So we've kind of moved the schedule around, and that means that we have started with Recurve, but we will then have Compound and then Barebow, and Compound to come will be a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old in Baretta, Mckee, and Leanne Drake, and then 2, superstars of the Compound men's division. Have the other 2 divisions, and then Barebow to wrap it all up in this 2026 edition. But it's 4-4 in this one. Anyone's game.
And we'll have a fun switch going from set points to, that was a violent finish. I think he managed to save that from getting any worse than it was with an 8. But we'll have a fun switch from set points to total score with the Compounds, and then back to set system with the Barebows. Nice spider killer there.
Wow. Okay. He has absolutely laid down a marker there. And Nick is he's very kind of softly he's very much again just focused in that zone. But it's an opportunity for Jack Williams to apply some pressure here with his second arrow.
Yep, just a little low. Didn't look quite as clean on the finish.
Got to land a 10 here.
He
has done just to ask a few questions of Jack Williams. An opportunity though for Jack to take gold and become the 2026 SoCal Showdown Recurve Men's Champion and book his place at the USAT Series Final. And it looks like he's done it.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yes, he has.
Yes.
Congratulations, and Jack Williams, and the shake of the hand, and a real contest there. It was an ebb and flow and a back and forth, but I mean that spider from Jack Williams with the first arrow. Again, not just in terms of shifting that scoring momentum, but how much would that have shifted the mental momentum as well?
It is kind of hard to, especially in this environment where the arrow is called and there's no one else shooting to watch. It is kind of hard to see a spider land like that and shake it off quick. It takes a lot of practice to get to that point.
We are at the SoCal Showdown. It is the 2026 edition, and if you weren't with us at the beginning, this is a record-breaking. We've never had as many athletes participating than we've had over the last few days. I think the previous record was the AAE Arizona Cup from 2023, but these events just keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better. I mean, we are under blue skies and beautiful sunshine. The competition has been great from U15, U18, U21, the para, obviously the senior, the 50 plus. It really has. Fixed pins, Compound, Barebow, Recurve. As the confirmation there that Jack Williams is the champion, and we'll hear from Jack shortly. You 2 or 3 years you've been in that senior, kind of the senior division. How have you just seen the sport grow? And obviously we've got U15s at the USAT. How have you seen in the last short amount of time just the numbers growing?
Oh, it's been crazy to see the attendance, and SoCal's always been a big event. There's a lot of archery in California, and a lot of people will come to this one as their first one, and it's been awesome to see the sport grow. I love seeing it grow and just get bigger the way it deserves.
You can hear that little rustling in the background. That is Jack Williams, 2026 SoCal Showdown champion. Not just that, but you've also qualified for the USAT Series final. But Olivia and I were looking at that first arrow of the final end. What was going through your mind as you landed that spider?
Yeah, the whole match was very wind dependent. I mean, this is a field that both Nick and I are both very familiar with. It's pretty much always this, so it was a lot of pick your spot and go, and that shot it was the perfect spot, and I just felt it was smooth and pinwheel right behind it.
Were you building to that point? Because again, even the previous four ends, there were it was a little bit up and down for both of you.
Yeah, in conditions like this, it's more play it safe, like especially on that last arrow, like I knew what I needed, and then so in the wind like this, I had that right 8 that kind of got away from me, so I'm like, I'm not going to do a right 8 again. Let's aim off an extra couple rings. If it drifts less than I think, it'll be a 9. If it drifts the same, it'll be a 10, and even if it drifts an extra ring, it's still good enough, so it's kind of playing the odds.
I'm looking at here, you were seeded 5. Just in terms of the event, I know down on that field, it played a little differently. Just the expectations coming in, how did you feel? And clearly you built that momentum, including a 6-0 win over Trenton on the way, the defending champion. You just built that momentum, and obviously we've landed here. Just what were your expectations, your form coming into this one? Yeah,
so the field, we've literally never shot going that direction. It was facing completely opposite direction of the field right now. So, the usual left to right now becomes a right to left just by flipping the targets. And the way it came up over the hill, there was definitely a lot of weird wind. I think that was reflected in all of our scores. Christian really put it together in the second half, but all of us were kind of mediocre at best. I think we all agreed. So made some changes, complete bow change in between the 2 days. I truthfully never shot this bow with this string, and I was completely just going to be like, okay, it'll be better. Went back up to the same situation I shot in Salt Lake, so I knew it would be pretty close to what would work, and it clearly worked today.
And you've qualified. You're now automatically qualified for the USAT Series final. I think who else is there? Marcus Delmeida and Brady. So 3 absolutely nailed in for that. How does that feel?
That'll be a really cool thing. I mean, this is a newer thing we've done. We've done it for indoor, but never outdoor, so it'll be super excited.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations once again, and we look for you're going to be at Buckeye.
I will be. I go to Buckeye, go to Nationals, and I'll even be at Joe at Nationals for some of my students. So
fantastic.
The tournament travel doesn't stop.
Absolutely.
Oh, never does.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and also before you go, what is that like? Because we are seeing you on the line a little bit more now. What is that coaching side of it, and how much is that as a kind of a different dynamic that you're behind the line, but you lose that control when you send them forward?
Yeah, there's definitely that part, and it's frustrating, but when I can see the problem, and but it's also equally comforting to be the person that they search for. I kind of pride myself in kind of thinking I'm very biomechanic and technical. I've learned from Coach Elias and Coach Lee before, and Coach Eric, and we all are very biomechanic, the NTS style, but really breaking down somebody's problems and being like, okay, how can I make you a better shooter? Let's work together. It's really, really exciting for me to be able to kind of give back and keep that going on after I'm done being an athlete, which isn't yet, but definitely in the future.
Well, absolutely. The 2026 Easton Foundation SoCal Showdown champion. That's one of your titles. Coach Jack is the other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, Jack. Always great to see you, and we'll see you at Buckeye.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
Jack Williams there, the winner of the Recurve men's division for the SoCal Showdown. So that's the 2 Recurve events. One was a 6-0, one was a 6-4. Compound coming up, and I'm just going to give them the signal so they can introduce the one coming up, which is Baretta, Mckee and Leanne Drake. And I mean, look, we're going to see these archers. They're a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old, but I want to just to give you some sense of not just their path to the gold medal match, but the names that have been involved. Alexis Ruiz was the number 1 seed with 706. Equaled, same score, Paige Pierce, 706. Carson Craig, Cassidy Cox. And then Olivia Dean at 6. Baretta Mckee was 5 seed. Leanne Drake was 7. Lico Ariola, Bella Otter, McKenna Proctor, Rachel Flack, who I know was part of the World Cup team recently.
Yes.
Sydney Sullenberger, who's been on the World Cup team. There's some names in there. So to see Baretta at 19 and Leanne Drake on this setting, on this stage for the very first time.
Yes, young shooters amongst a field of highly experienced ones.
What was going through your mind when you pulled down that national jersey and you stepped out onto a World Cup stage? It's the same sport, but it's very much a different approach mentally.
It's a different game, and the biggest thing I've learned is to trust that you know your stuff just as well as they do. And with the World Cup stage, everybody on that field can win that event, and you have to remind yourself that includes you. And I think that can be said of this too, with if you trust your shot and you know you can shoot 10s, anybody can end up in this gold medal match. Anybody can do this if you trust your shot and you don't let your opponent get in your head.
Well, this is cumulative. Just to remind you, this is compound. It is cumulative over 5 ends, so it's whoever's got the most points, basically, at the end of those 5 ends. So Leanne starting with a 10, Baretta with an 8. So already a 2-point deficit, but
yes,
it is very much early days.
And matched now so that our number 2 target is down 1 point.
And there is a different feel. It is the same sport. What was that transition like for you, that you just had to mentally understand and appreciate that you're going through the same stages, going through the same process, but there's a little bit more expectation, and these archers are going to be feeling there's a little bit more pressure, a little bit more expectation, and a lot of it your body can't tense. You can't be you can't be stressed. How and what are your mechanisms? What are your mechanisms to try and kind of keep free and loose and relaxed?
Yeah, tension kills shots, and it is important to keep yourself relaxed. My greatest trick is to force myself to yawn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you trick your brain into thinking you're sleeping.
Hang around with me, you'll be bored every second.
No, it is just about reminding yourself that this sport is fun. You do it for a reason. It's fun. If you're not having fun out in the field, it's going to be hard to throw good shots.
Well, these two just got underway. First 3 arrows, so they're noting the scores. Just to let you know, the bronze medal was confirmed earlier. Alexis Ruiz, who was the number 1 seed, winning 148-144 against Olivia Dean. Olivia and Alexis having won Gator Cup and Salt Lake Summit respectively. So we are going to have a new name, as we've just had with Recurve men. Obviously, Jenny won Salt Lake Summit, so she was already secured and already assured, should I say, of her place in Springfield, Missouri on August 12th. That is just before Target Nationals and US Open. So one of these will again secure their place in the USAT Series final. But what does that tell you about? And I often, when I'm talking to a number of these athletes, the depth it is getting deeper and it's getting younger.
Yes.
How much do you think, and obviously you move within the recurve circles, but just within that archery, how much is compound being at the LA Olympics? How much is that, right, we want to be part of that? That's the talent pool is deeper, and we've got a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old here.
I think that is playing a very big part. The Olympics is always a big name, big thing that people want to be able to say that they've gone and done, and there are very few people who actually get to, especially with compound being only one person for each the genders, 1 woman, 1 man. It's going to be a hard competition, and I do think that everybody thinks they can do it, though, and it'll be fun to see who actually ends up going.
That is a great shot right behind the archers there, and you could see all of our generous sponsors. Thank you so much to all of those, our presenting sponsor for this broadcast, Win and Win, but all of the other wonderful sponsors that get behind the sport and get behind USA Archery. We are so grateful. that they are part of this wonderful journey. So 25 played 24 in favour of Leanne Drake after that first set of 3 arrows. And it's 50 metres.
Yes.
So what you work in a compound shop.
Yes.
You never been tempted to go down the compound path?
No, when I was very little, just starting, about 10, 12 years ago, my dad tried to get me to shoot a compound, and I hated it. So I've stuck to recurve ever since. But more recently, working in a compound shop, wanting to help my customers and my clients the best I can, I've started to pick it up a little bit, just so that I can be useful, and it's a different game. I mean, with the recurve, if you don't shoot a 10 every time, it's okay. With the compound, to be successful at a high level, you really have to be shooting 10s almost every arrow.
Well, and we'll see two of the guys that do it pretty much in their sleep.
Yes.
Coming up next, the compound man will be Jimmy Lutz, who was 719. That was the world record that he set. That's 72 arrows, so you do the math. 719. The previous record was 718, set by Braden Galantine, who was here over the last few days, but also equalled by Mike Schloesser. So we're going to have two of the very, very best, and certainly know their way to that 10 ring.
Oh yeah.
Will be Jimmy Lutz and Mike Schloesser, but that'll be after this one. Leanne Drake just taking some fluids on board.
Yep.
She's got some World Youth Championship experience. Was in Ireland 2 or 3 years ago. So she's got experience on the world stage. But again, coming out here, it's with all the feather banners, you're in a location that you're familiar with, but the setup is different. You've got more people, you've got the cameras, you've got all of the boards and a few more spectators. And again, there's a little bit of an adjustment from that side of things.
Oh yeah, it's different to go from being able to step up there, shoot your 3 arrows, and step off the line, not worry about what the other person is doing, to a setup where you have to trade off every arrow, and it's not about who shoots faster, and it's not about staying in your lane. It's literally 1 arrow at a time. Each arrow is separate. Each person shoots 1 at a time. It can get in your head a little bit if you've never done it before.
53 plays 52, so maintaining that 1 point advantage is Leanne on the right hand side, as we're looking now. The left-handed archer, and Baretta of Idaho, Leanne Drake from Missouri, and I'll give you a sense of their pathway to this stage. I'm going to look at Leanne Drake beat Lilith Mariano with her first game, and moving on, she took on, let's have a look at what point, Kaylee Geisbuehler, 143-141, so that was a little closer. Quarter-final meeting then with Claire Lynn, 143-138, and then the semi-finals with Olivia Dean, and obviously had to raise her game a little bit. 145 played 143, and we look at Baretta, looking at
a good 10 there.
145 against Annabelle Shimono. Then Bella Otter, who's been on the circuit for a number of years, the number 12 seed, defeating her. Quarterfinals, Ellie Purcell, 149-143, and then Alexis Ruiz, 147-145. So again, just building that momentum to get to this stage. And of course, if you're looking to get past the likes of Alexis and Olivia and Paige Pierce and those kind of archers, you've got to build up, and you've got to bring your game.
And I do think we've just seen a switch in who's taking the lead at the moment.
Turn things around with end number 3.
That is an important thing to keep in mind with compound. A lot of, especially at a high level, you shoot 1-9, you feel like it's the end of the world, but sometimes your opponent shoots a couple 9s too, and gives you some grace. So it is. It's good to just focus on each shot and not let one shot get in your head.
I'm trying to think as I was going through the scores, of course, but it's saying up here 27-26, so it might be 79, unless there was a liner. Unless there's a little, we might. Let's see if they mark an arrow up or down.
We'll see what our
the official score is down there. I tell you what, I do envy just the
Yeah,
speed
we've got
with
a
which they
tie
can
there.
move those.
Oh yeah, you
I
get
d-
some. You get it.
Yeah,
It's some
yeah.
practice.
I step back. I'm like, which it's my side of the brain doesn't really work well with that.
No, it's okay. You have no idea how many times I've written a Y instead of a 4.
79 apiece. So there we go. That 1 point deficit, that 1 point advantage, should I say,
Yep.
that Leanne had held since the first end. So they went 25-24, 28-28, and then 27-26 in favour of Baretta, so cancelling out that 1 point. And we stand at 79 apiece. End number 4, and the lefty, Leanne Drake, will get us underway. Now a collegiate athlete. We've seen her at a few collegiate events. She was at Field and 3D as well. That was in Yankton. So switching back and forth, starting with an 8, end number 4. A reminder, this is cumulative score. Similar area as well.
Yep. They both look like their finishes are not as clean as they might have liked.
Both starting with an 8, this fourth end, so 87 apiece. And Leanne just finds the 10 ring. But it is an incredible, and you know, irrespective of which of these wins, there's a, looks like it may have broken the line.
That should be a 10 there. Should be tied at this point.
But both have got a tale to tell, and we'll hear from obviously one of them. But Baretta, having just stepped up to the senior division, I think, if what I heard earlier, at Salt Lake Summit, that was her first. That was her first foray into senior competition.
Well, she's doing great. If that's true, that's incredible.
So I may even go and just talk amongst yourselves. We'll see how she got on at
Hunt down
Salt Lake Summit.
Some between end scores, yeah.
As they look to tot up these scores. 79 played 79 at the end of the third end.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's see. So elimination.
Now I think we'll see that that lead change if I'm counting up these points correctly.
So in her first 107, 106.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to find her. Maybe it was her first USAT.
Oh wow.
Okay. It's such a
fun
quick turnaround.
Find someone
Yes, she got gold in the U21 division.
And she decided to go up to senior. All right, I like it.
So there's me looking through the senior division because, you know, the information I got was, I think, Salt Lake was her first USAT. It was her first USAT, period.
Wow.
But she was competing at the U21, and she won in a one-arrow shoot-off against the number 1 seed, Savannah O'Donoghue, a triple gold medalist at the World Youth last year.
There's a lot to be said for leaving no expectations on the table and just shooting your arrows.
I mean, I'd love to know what that conversation was. Yeah, just got gold. What do you fancy doing? Go to SoCal. What? I don't know. Go to the senior division. Why not? What could go wrong? And here we are. And she's taken a 1 point lead heading into the final end. Wow, that is incredible. And then Leanne again making a gold medal match for the first time. I mean, Baretta Mckee, 19 years of age, gold medalist at Salt Lake Summit in the U21 compound, steps up to the senior division, makes the gold medal match, leading by a point, lands a 10 in the 5th and final end.
And I think we will have a conversation with her.
Leanne with the miss.
That is rough. You can see she doesn't look very happy with it.
I think looking for answers there. Turning around. Shrug of the shoulders. There's not a lot they can do at this point. And Baretta may be aware. She's got to shake that off and get focused on this next arrow. Wow.
Solid.
Wow.
And a quick execution, which is sometimes a rare find in the compound division. She sent that one confident.
Let's see the response. A good, strong finish. A great,
There we
strong
go.
finish from Leanne. She's
Yeah.
going to be disappointed with that second arrow, but phenomenal.
Oh,
Silver
yeah.
medalist hug there. Silver medalist at the senior division.
And a strong 30 to finish, too.
Goodness me, Baretta Mckee. Look, this is maybe the first time we've heard her name. It's not going to be the last.
Oh, certainly
I can
not.
tell you that. And we are going to hear from the new champion of SoCal Showdown, the compound division for women, Baretta Mckee. And look, we're throwing out some of these stats. We're throwing out that she was USAT debut at Salt Lake. Maybe she's going to confirm that. Maybe
Yeah.
she might say, well, no, I did Arizona Cup 3 years ago in the U18s. But we are going to hear that. That is a heck of a performance.
Oh,
and to
yeah.
finish with 30,
Very strong finish, especially in a match that looked like it was rough to read the wind and shoot confident shots. She finished with 3 really confident ones.
and we've got great young archers in the compound division, the compound women's division, and we talk about, Olivia and Carson and obviously there's the experience of Alexis and Paige. Add this young lady and of course with the gold medal that she's just won, and then Leanne's silver medal. I'm blown away because
Yeah.
somebody of that young to step it up and accelerate seemed to have no nerves at all.
Oh, no. Yeah. Just no expectations. Launch good arrows.
Wow. Well, we're gonna look to hear from Baretta. She's going to be asked to wander down, so we'll try and figure out just a little bit of that backstory
Yeah.
and try and fathom just the performance that we've just seen. She's walking down away to our right hand side, so you'll hear a rustle of the
Yeah.
headset shortly. You'll know that
That we've got her.
we've
Yeah.
got her, and I suspect she's probably going to be more nervous doing this interview
I would be. Yeah.
than what we've just seen.
Arrows are easy.
there.
Interviews are new and scary.
So Baretta, we can just put that headset on, and we're going to get. Can you hear us?
Yes.
First of all, congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
Massive congratulations. Second of all, a little birdie was telling me that your first USAT, when was that? Confirm when your first USAT event was.
Salt Lake.
This year?
Yeah, this year.
Incredible.
And so, just so that you know, and obviously you were busy shooting 30 in that final end, I was going back thinking, okay, so let's have a look at the senior scores from the USAT. No, you weren't even in the senior division.
No, I shot U21 for my very first one.
And got gold in
Yeah.
that. So what was the conversation? Who was it with between winning gold there and thinking, I tell you what, let's go into the senior division at SoCal and see what we can do? What was that conversation like?
So Utah was like a very last minute thing, and with the senior and the junior teams being on opposite weekends, the U21 weekend worked out better for my schedule, and it was my very first one, kind of just getting my feet wet. And then I go and win that, and I was like, obviously I need to shoot in the senior class because I shoot all the pro classes indoor stuff and field stuff, so I'm shooting with all the same girls I usually do.
So stepping on that line, knowing that you'd never been on that, look, a stage similar, but this environment in a USAT event, you didn't seem to have nerves, and certainly with that final end, it didn't seem at all. But what was going through your mind?
I did have a little bit of nerves, but it was mostly trying to shoot in the wind. Definitely the wind got me a couple of times. Wasn't quite thrilled with the 7 I shot or the couple of 8s I did, but it was enough to get the win.
And having won in Utah, decided to step up. Was it a case of just shooting free? Were you free of any expectations? What were your expectations coming in this week?
This week I didn't have a whole lot. It was my first senior class, so it's just experience, get out there and see how it goes.
And obviously it's gone really well.
Yeah.
I'm curious so this Salt Lake was your first USAT, but I am curious what your other experience with Field or 3D has been. Just competition. It sounds like you said you had at least a little bit indoor experience.
Yes, I shoot lots of indoor. Like, I was in the second place tie, 11-way tie 2 years ago, and ended up placing 7th with that. This last year I didn't do quite as well, but I was also one of the highest X counts, which was cool. But with field stuff, because I shoot Reading every year, so that's a lot of the stuff I shoot. Field I shoot quite a bit, and I actually haven't shot field in the pro class yet. We haven't shot that the last couple of years, but Reading I have shot in the pro class the last 2 years.
So stepping on the line with these names, Alexis and Paige, these are not unfamiliar.
No.
Okay.
I shoot with them all the time, yeah.
Well, and you've qualified. I'm not sure, having just stepped into the USAT series, I'm not even sure whether you've realised you've qualified automatically for the USAT series final, which is going to be August 12th in Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah.
You're joining Olivia Dean and Alexis Ruiz, who've qualified automatically, winning here this afternoon. We'll see you in Springfield, Missouri. Just your thoughts on qualifying automatically.
This is cool. I was not expecting to come and win this. This is cool.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
It was
you.
absolutely fantastic. Fantastic to see your performance this afternoon, and we will see you in Springfield, Missouri. Well, are you going to go to Buckeye?
Buckeye, yes.
Okay,
I am.
Awesome.
and senior division, just so we know where to look out for you.
Senior division.
Okay.
So we
yes.
know where the scores will be.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Baretta, thank you so much. Congratulations once again. You're SoCal Showdown champion for 2026. 19-year-old Baretta Mckee. She will be at Buckeye in the senior division, and we will see her in Springfield, Missouri for the USAT series final. We now added another name to that list that is assured of a place, and we can say goodbye. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you to Baretta.
Thank you for coming and talking.
She's going to head off and will receive her medal. Thank you very much.
Yep.
We are just waiting now for the next match to come along, which is the compound men, the gold medal match.
Yes.
And this is a repeat of the Gator Cup gold medal match. And just, if you weren't familiar with that, that was the event where Jimmy Lutz got the world record, which Mike Schloesser had equaled the previous year of 7:18. Jimmy Lutz with a new world record of 7:19. The number one seed, Jimmy Lutz against Mike Schloesser in the gold medal match. Schloesser got gold on that occasion. So, is it how much of learning lessons from that? These guys shoot together all the time, against each other all the time. They're competing all the time. How much of just that is any element to draw upon to motivate you a little bit more? Is Jimmy likely to use any of that, or is that too long ago and gone and it's a new match?
I do think that he'll have it in his mind, not in any way affecting him, but especially with the amount of experience he's got. But I do think he's probably thinking about that past event, just because an elephant never forgets. Archers usually, we have the best idea of who we've won and beat against matches before, so he'll remember. He probably is not going to care and focus on his shot. I know these guys are really going to just focus on each arrow of their own and shooting as many 10s as possible.
7:17 in qualification for Jimmy Lutz. Kyle Douglas 7:14. Kyle, of course, the winner at Salt Lake Summit. Mike Schloesser 7:13. So a 4-point difference between them in qualification, but here they are on the same stage, and it is Jimmy Lutz with a 9 and an 8. So
Jimmy does appear to be having some struggle going on. He's looking back at his coach's box.
Mike Schloesser, Mr. Perfect. I was talking to his wife Gabby a few days ago. So 29 for Mike.
And his wife is in his coach's box as well.
And of course she's Mexican. Mike is from the Netherlands. And obviously the Soccer World Cup is going on at the moment.
Yes.
So she was talking about whether she was going to wear a Netherlands jersey, bright orange, to the field this week. Gabby and Mike exchanging opinions and thoughts on what they're watching.
Yeah, and Jimmy and Coach Chris having a conversation.
And what is that conversation? I mean, again, at this stage, when you're the world record holder, 719 at Gator Cup, 717 here, what pointers is Chris giving to Jimmy there?
It's always useful to get a reminder, even if your coach is saying the same thing they've told you a million times. Sometimes it's just those little things, a little reminder of hey, you need to focus on the wind, or this is what I saw in that shot. And sometimes it's just the third person perspective. That's all they're saying is hey, this is what I saw, so that the archer can take that and use it as something to keep in mind when they're shooting their next shot.
You can see at the far end there the score: 26 plays 29. 3-point deficit. Now, if that was the fourth end, maybe Jimmy could be a little bit more concerned. It's the first end, and there is still plenty of archery, plenty of arrows for him to retrieve that. Just to confirm, of course, Mike Schloesser already guaranteed, already secured his spot at the USAT Series final. That'll be August 12th. Jimmy, of course, is building up points to join him there without automatic qualification, but he would love to secure that with a win here this afternoon. But he starts the second end with an 8, and another look round at Coach Chris.
Mike looks happy with that shot.
And so he should be.
Yeah.
That is not too bad. We've got June was a busy month with field and 3D, and obviously SoCal Showdown. July will bring us the Buckeye Classic and Joad Target Nationals and Joad US Open. Registration is still open for both of those. Go to usarchery.org for more details. We look forward to seeing you at the Buckeye Classic, which is the fourth and final opportunity to qualify for the USAT Series final.
And there we've got a 10 from Jimmy.
So 10 and a couple of 8. So he's kind of going back, having conversations, and now it's all eyes on Mike Schloesser. And Mr. Perfect has just landed the perfect score.
Yes.
So that will extend the advantage. So it's going to be 59 plays 54, and you can hear on the microphones that wind is picking up a good deal.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the archers are appreciating it's gusting while they are waiting for their arrows to be pulled, and not while they are shooting.
Well, and that you know, it is timing is everything. I mean, it's different when you are on the line in qualification. You're all shooting at the same time, or whenever you're set. Here, you know, if that wind had kicked up when one of these archers was at full draw, you're having to rethink compared to the guy who's just had a slightly calmer breeze.
Yes, and you don't have much time to let down and reset, especially as a compound. You got 20 seconds. You got to get up and shoot. Can't do much about the conditions and let down.
So there we have. Well, it's 59.50. It's 59.52. It is a 7-point gap.
Shooter. So if anyone can do it, it's him.
Recurve, we've already seen that with win for Jennifer Mucino-Fernandez, and then in the men it was Jack Williams. Baretta Mckee, the 19-year-old, making her senior USAT debut, winning gold in compound women. This is compound men, going the way of Mike Schloesser at the moment.
Yep. Got Jimmy with a liner 10 there.
And then we got Barebow to follow. So do stick around. That'll be Medina, Otajagic, and Cindy Zacco, number 1 seed and the number 3 seed. Then the number 4 seed, Alex de Vera, and Lance Long, number 6 seed from California.
Now we've got Jimmy starting to shoot some 10s, and Mike has a 9, so that's 1 point back for Jimmy.
Okay, just in case he thought the door was going to open.
Only cracks.
Jimmy Lutz looking down the line. There we go.
We've got a 30.
Walks back. Still, obviously, realizes he's got work to do, and then Mike Schloesser thinking, well, I put a 9 in with my first arrow. What am I doing?
Yeah.
And then goes and lands 2 10s. So
X is on top of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fantastic from Mike Schloesser, but it looks like a point back, so it'll be a 6-point game. Still a big ask.
Yes, 6 points is a big ask, especially at this point with only a few more arrows left to go.
So gold and silver will be decided here. The bronze already determined. Ace Coleman with a 1 arrow shoot-off win against Bodie Turner. Number 10 seed playing number 4 seed. Both finished with 146. And you'll be at Buckeye?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what does your travel, what does your timetable look like over the next few weeks?
Well,
Because it's competition, travel, rest,
yes,
laundry, kind of.
Well, hardly. The next weekend I'm home is July 25th.
Oh my goodness.
Because we've got Pan Am Champs, and then I'm home for a couple of days.
Right.
Leave on July 4th for World Cup number 4 in Madrid, and then get back for maybe 4 more days before we leave for Buckeye.
Wow. Yeah. 4th of July, of course. That'll be in Madrid.
Yep.
That'll be in Madrid.
Yep.
So beautiful city. And we were talking before we came on air whether, you know, as athletes, they get a chance to enjoy some of the culture, some of the history.
Yeah, you get a little bit, mostly dinner, mostly dinner time. Especially with the interesting thing about the Madrid World Cup is they build the kind of Spanish culture in a little bit. There's a good long lunch break.
Oh.
Instead of the afternoon line starting around 2, how it normally does, it starts at 3:15 or a little bit later. There's a siesta built in.
Oh, yes. See, I could
It's
work with
nice.
that. I could
Yeah.
work with that. Well, that one, he started with a 10, just dropped into the 9, did Jimmy, and then likewise with Mike.
We are seeing some height here. Just a little bit of highs and lows. You're seeing it on the recurve side as well.
So 29 there for Jimmy. Mike will look to match that and maintain his healthy advantage, which was 6 points heading into this 4th end. And he drops it a little low, so it's going to be 5 points. Should still be too much of a mountain for Jimmy to climb. And again, if I'm not going to name names, but there could be other archers in earlier parts of the event where you could think a 5-point deficit, but you're up against Mike Schloesser. He's not, it would take something very, very different from him and something very, very special for him to give up 5 points heading down the final stretch.
It would take more than a little mistake for a 5-point lead at this point to be recovered from.
And so it was those first 2 ends really from Jimmy, who was trying to kind of find his way in 2 26s, and then he's wrapped that up, or followed that up, should I say, with 2 ends of 30. But the kind of the steep element of that hill was created in the first 2 ends. When he gave up all of those points, but it's low 70s. But the breeze has been
Pretty
significant,
strong,
and we've got our backs to. It's there. Clearly, we can't see it, but the coast is behind us.
Yes.
And you say that's kind of where the breeze is coming from. It normally comes here from left to right across this field.
Yes, on this field it is almost always left to right. There's a pretty good barrier on all sides of the field, so if there's wind on this field, there's only really one place it can come from. I think there's only been maybe 2 days I've been on this field where the wind's ever been from the other direction, and it was usually during a very big storm.
116 plays 1-1-1, 5 points the
There we
difference.
go.
He's going to have to land the perfect score, and he started well. Just for many, many times.
Yeah.
And that's a 10.
At this point, I feel like the best thing that Jimmy's going to be doing is just trying to throw good shots, finish strong, and let whatever happens happen.
And it is that goldfish approach, isn't it? 26-26, and then he's just rattled off a whole load of 10s. That's a 9-10 liner they're calling, but well, Jimmy, if he finishes with another 10, we'll have had 9 10s in a row.
There we
And
go.
he does. So he finishes incredibly strong.
Yes.
That'll obviously gift him the silver medal and more points in that race to the USAT Series final, and obviously taking that form into the Pan Am Championships later this week in the compound division. But a high five with Mrs. Schloesser and a hug, and the two will embrace. But Mike Schloesser does it again, as he did with Gator Cup, where Jimmy was #1 seed, finished with silver. Mikey Schloesser took the gold in that event, and he's done so once again. And we'll catch word with Mike very soon, as they just confirm the scores. And then we'll have Barebow coming up in the next few minutes. But just to give you some information, if you love archery, you want to take your fandom to the next level, the USA Archery Insiders Club is for you. Join the Insiders Club today, and you'll get exclusive membership benefits and updates on the United States archery team. That's the USAT, as they gear up for 2028 in the Olympics and Paralympic Games in Los Angeles. Different levels to choose from. There has never been a better time to show your support for USA Archery. Go to usarchery.org for more details. Richard Fleming and Olivia Martin with you here at the Easton Foundation SoCal Showdown. We are 4 matches, 2 divisions down. We're going to hear from Mike Schloesser shortly, and if you've seen previous broadcasts and you're thinking, God, they're taking a while, it's a little bit further. We're asking a little bit more of them to walk to the interview position. They're about 10 metres away to our right-hand side, but it's about 20 or 30 metres from the shooting line. So Mike has spotted the headset. He's got them on. Mike, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, congratulations. Once again, you've got the better of Jimmy Lutz. Jimmy seemed to struggle the first 2 ends, obviously came very, very strong towards the end. You were clearly a more consistent. What did you see out there?
Very challenging conditions. It's super windy. Like the first couple ends, I felt like the luck was a bit on my side. Like I felt like when I was shooting, the wind calmed down a little bit compared to Jimmy's. But at the end, I just kept it strong and kept shooting and tried to execute good shots, even if it's so windy like here.
This was a record. I'm not sure if you're aware. This was a record-breaking SoCal Showdown. We've had more athletes than ever before. And obviously we see you a lot at the USAT events, and it's great to see you. What is it about this venue? What is it about this event that you love coming back to?
I think of the series, either Gator Cup or this one, SoCal is one of my favorite ones. The food is amazing. The venue is always amazing as well. The temperature is good as well compared to home. So I was really enjoying here, like the good food and the good weather here.
We saw you with Gabby, your wife. It was in the coach's corner there. Just talk us through that dynamic. I mean, do you talk archery in between ends? Do you just you're just chewing the fat? What is that conversation like? You're talking about where you're going to eat tonight. I mean, because again, it's a different dynamic than many of the archers may have.
So we're very fortunate. We train every single day together. Now with Luna, of course, a bit different than before her, but we try to support each other in the trainings and also in events like this, where there's a possibility like this. And to be honest, like what we're talking about is like even a little bit of everything, like shooting and keeping it strong, making kind of fun that I was like seeing like every color on my target's face. But we just having a good time, and she gave me the confidence to shoot well here.
Oh, and the Soccer World Cup is going on at the moment. There's a Mexican and a Dutchman in that household. What is there any allegiance? Is there any fandom? What are those conversations like as well?
Well, I'm not a big fan of soccer, so I'm not really following it. Gabi is following it, and she's kind of following both Mexico and the Netherlands, and she will tell me. So that's kind of how it goes.
That's a good way to keep just to keep things nice and even keeled as well.
I'm curious which jersey she's going to get for Luna.
Both, like one half and half.
Oh yes.
Well, also before we let you go, Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Is it how old is Luna? Is this your first? Is this your first as first Father's Day as a father?
No, she just turned 1 a couple weeks ago, so this is my second one. The first time she was like literally 3 or 4 weeks old.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, congratulations on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Congratulations on the win here, and we look forward to seeing you once again at future events. But thanks very much, Mike. Always great to see you.
Bye-bye.
Mike Schloesser there, what a great ambassador he is for the sport as well, and the same with Jimmy, and just goes by the nickname Mr. Perfect. and it is. It's about, performing, but also, as we've just heard from Mike there, great talker, just good for the sport, that ambassadorial side of things as well. And we do see him, and the fact that he's kind of, we've seen some other international athletes that have been here as well. This really is a place that archers love to come to, not just from the United States, Guatemala, Mexico. We've seen them here competing.
Yes. It's not terribly hot, and a lot of those places either are colder or hotter, and it's just so fun to shoot at. And again, like he said, the weather, the food nearby, there's always all kinds of great food, even if you're paying California prices for them. And the beach is nearby, Coronado Island is nearby, although right now I think there's a NASCAR event happening, so I would steer clear. But it's just a wonderful venue. Almost all of our other venues are frequented by bad storms or hot weather or humidity, and this is just a nice one.
It certainly is. And look at this. We have a 16-year-old number 1 seed, Medina Otajagic against Cindy Zacco. Number 3 seed Cindy, I believe, won here 2 years ago, if memory serves me right. She won the first 3 USATs and then didn't go to Buckeye, and she could have got the clean sweep. But Cindy, vastly experienced. Barebow, Medina, certainly, I kind of hate to use the word up and coming, because even for her tender years, 16 years of age, she's been on the circuit for a few years. But the number 1 seed stepping out here, and in qualifying, 6:03 was her qualifying score. Cindy 5:87 as the number 3 seed. Emmy Purcell was 5:90. Emmy getting the gold at Salt Lake Summit. So what are you thinking here? Say we've got a 16-year-old who's clearly got no nerves, and stepping out here, but that would be a bit of a sighter. This is another one as well. The scoring system for this, reminders on this one.
This will be a set system as well.
So a stronger start there from Cindy.
Now Barebow is always a fun game for me to watch. I'm used to recurve on a 122 face. It's always interesting to see how much they can be affected by the wind and aiming off, and just seeing how they account for that is always just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, they've not got the mechanisms, the devices, the aids to kind of help them.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. She's had a couple of sighters, and then she's moved it up a little bit. Turning around.
It is breezy here.
And it is. It's kind of picked up a little bit.
Yep, these flags are going strong.
Cindy is, and she was up for a World Archery Award, Cindy Zacco, just to give you an idea of the character. And I think it kind of epitomizes archery as a sport and as a community. It was at Gator Cup last year. She was competing against Ava Jones and was winning. It was a gold medal match. It was televised. We're there. And Cindy was winning. Ava had an equipment malfunction and didn't have the equipment to fix it. Cindy dipped into the bag, got the equipment, helped her fix the equipment. Ava turned it around and went on to win.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you see that happening in any other sport where your rival helps you turn things around? And she was up for the Fair Play Award with World Archery. I mean, I love Cindy to bits. Cindy Zacco is a great. We talk about ambassadors for the sport. Great
just
ambassador
great
for the sport. Yeah.
I think especially with the FIFA World Cup going on at the same time, it's a good dichotomy, because you see how mean and lean those football players can get. It's always just so wonderful to step out on the archery community. Is always so nice, and everybody is always so helpful with each other.
Absolutely, and we do we kind of we throw that word around. We throw that archery community phrase around, and I know the Barebow archers throw out Barebow as that community, but it is a wonderful, and I suspect we've got people that'll be watching and tuning in that maybe archery is something they've looked at, that kind of dipping their toe into. It really is a sport that welcomes everyone. What was your journey like? You say your dad introduced you. Was it that kind of that family connection?
Yeah, my dad had grown up shooting, and my grandpa taught him how to shoot, and so my dad took me to an archery range and learned how to shoot a strong shot there. And it was the first sport that I found that I really enjoyed, and I tried quite a lot, but I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the mental side of it. I enjoyed that it wasn't a 100% physical game, that there's really no advantage to be given to one person or another based off of their body shape or how they look, and it's just so much fun to shoot.
Good strong comeback from Medina, 10 and 9. Cindy looking around, 8 and a 7. And it's wonderful. Part of her bio, I noticed she put Medina, I think she likes cooking, and she introduces herself, I'm shy. And she is. I mean, she's a 16-year-old.
Yes.
And wonderful young lady. And again, it's kind of bringing those two together, because you've got to have a certain resolve to stand up there. You've got to have a certain internal drive, whether that's internal fire, so that kind of shyness, and then you're standing out on this stage and performing.
Yes.
How do you marry the two? How do you bring those two together?
It's mostly just the difference in how you act around other people over how you react when it's just you on the line. And I usually do tell people to try to think about just themselves and not worry about what anyone else around them is doing. And I think that archery is actually a sport that attracts shy people, because it is not a lot of requirement to be talkative and chatty or cooperative with other people as much, or collaborative. You can just stand up there and shoot your arrows and then sit back down on the line and read a book if you want.
Yeah, well, and I think that's the key. It is a sport that anybody can do, and if you want to be, mingling and kind of that bubbly side, or if that's not your thing, Medina has admitted she's shy and she kind of keeps herself to herself, but it's a sport that will welcome you and will bring you in. And as we've already mentioned, Cindy and Cindy's is a great example of sportsmanship, but it's not an isolated example. You see it on the line all the time, and it really is a special sport, and we're very fortunate to have these ambassadors competing at the highest level. So we're looking at, there's a few question marks just down at the target. There's Medina, that's chatting to her mum, I believe.
Yep.
That conversation, just trying to stay relaxed, and whatever that relaxation
just trying to
is,
laugh it off and focus on the next 3 arrows.
There we go. Just dancing away. Again, whatever allows the muscles to remain free
nice
and relaxed. And we are tied. So confirmation, it is a tied match here between Cindy and Medina. One more match to come after this. Alex de Vera of Chicago Bowhunters Target Archery, and Lance Long, the 4th seed, against the 6th seed. Already Jim O'Shea, who was the number 1 seed, has got the bronze medal in the men's, and Emmy Purcell, who was the gold medalist at Salt Lake, has walked away with the bronze with a 7-1 win against Nina Lopez. So the third end underway, 2 points apiece, and Medina lands a 9.
Strong open.
Cindy, who's been here many times before, and sometimes that's an adjustment, isn't it? And
a strong start.
10 for Cindy, and again it's the mental resolve. An 8, a decent reaction there, decent response. Just turns around, gets some words of advice and reassurance from mum. That's another 10 from Cindy, and she is absolutely in the zone. Just a gentle nod of the head as she's getting word from behind. And that's trying to see who that's behind. Is that Coach Tom?
Yes, Coach Tom Hinojosa. He's currently standing in as the para-team coach. Strong 28.
There we go. So the first time I met Tom, there's a little story. First time I met Tom was at Collegiate Target Nationals, and he leads a school that my daughters went to, a university that my daughters went to. And my eldest daughter had just graduated, and so I see his team, and I recognize the colours, and I recognize the name. And there was only 4 or 5 of them. in the crowd of all of the collegiate target nationals. I walk up to him and I show him on my phone a photo of my daughter in her graduation gown. And obviously his eyes are probably as good as mine. He's like, oh, kind of patted me on the shoulder. Had no idea of the kind of the reference or what I was kind of relating. He kind of said, yeah, very good. He had no idea that I was saying, no, it's the same school. And I walked away, I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure he just thought I was some proud dad that's just walked up and said, look, my child's graduated. He'd never met me. Our paths had never crossed. I thought, I've got to clear this up. So I kind of chased him down and said, excuse me, just to clarify. And I zoomed in. He went, oh, and the realization. He had obviously walked up thinking,
that was odd.
Random guys just show me his daughter graduation photo. Anyway.
Well, what's funny is Coach Tom is actually the coach that I had for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Colorado during high school.
Okay. Great guy.
Yeah, Coach Tom and I are really close. He's always been a great supporter.
So 4-2, Cindy leads, but Medina has trailed previously and has responded previously. And starts the fourth end with a 9.
Good open. And on the pro side with this win, that's important.
And Cindy was brought her bag of food. Obviously, the archers have got to they've got to refuel and they've got to make sure they're hydrated. And she told me the story yesterday of her. She had a Ziploc bag of spaghetti. So she said, you've got to see me. You've got to see me. And so I turn around. She's eating spaghetti with chopsticks.
That is one way.
It's one way to consume it.
To have a snack, yeah.
Yeah. But it clearly worked because here she is. It's given her the energy sustained to make it through to the gold medal match. And she's looking to wrap things up, but those are wayward.
I do think we will have a 4-4 tie here and a good battle here on this set system.
Wow. Those were, both of those sixes were on the same side.
Yes, there's some wind. She might be getting pushed around.
So we can expect that number on the left to change, the number on the right to remain the same. And Cindy going back and forth with Coach Tom, just trying to fathom what went wrong, what she needs to adjust. And there we have, they're kind of talking through the conditions, and I suspect Tom is possibly because he's kind of pointing towards our direction, which is where the wind is coming from.
Yes.
So maybe a suggestion of, look, it's curving round, there's little pockets, and expect the wind to because it pushed them both, of those arrows to the right hand side. So we'll see if Cindy has learnt anything from that. 4-4. So only if you are following the scores and you're going into between ends, which is the scoring system that we use, and you're seeing Zacco listed as Johanna Zacco, obviously that isn't it, but she goes by Cindy. So that's just to avoid any confusion. That is why we are referring to her as Cindy Zacco. But it'll be the teenager, Medina Otajagic, to get us underway.
And a good 9.
Just following that, maintaining that gaze, looking down the lane.
And we go on the pro side, so there might have been less wind than she was expecting there.
That's just a nod once again, is getting some word from behind.
And a 10.
This young lady is looking to steal it away from Cindy Zacco, but not just yet. So 17 points for Cindy. Medina could wrap it up here though.
Oof, and we will see how Cindy answers.
So is that 27? Or 25 is an 8 and a 7, I think. So it's 25, I think, for Medina.
I think it will be very close.
Turning away there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's gone the way of the 16-year-old.
Yeah, I think so.
There was opportunities there for both of those archers. And we're going to hear from the shy 16-year-old. I mean, I've spoken, to be fair, I've spoken to Medina a number of times, and she is very softly spoken. But we'll hear from her shortly and get her take on what was a real back and forth. I mean, that was anybody's for the taking. Some of the other matches we've seen have kind of seen that lead and it's not been relinquished. This was a performance from both these archers. Could have gone either way, and really the wind was really challenging both of these archers. We could see the right and left, north and south of their arrows. And there we have confirmation.
Yes. In a good match, I always love a good battle. 6-4 is always fun. Not as fun as a shoot-off is, though.
Yeah, well, we've not seen a shoot-off just yet, and it's interesting. I'm not sure whether Medina knows that she's got an interview to do, and we may see from her demeanour, she's like, what? And I always find that amazing. Again, I couldn't do what they're doing. Clearly not at the standard they're doing, but you're standing on a stage in front of people, and they're watching you win or lose, succeed or fail. But you put a headset on somebody that's just done that, and suddenly it's a completely different approach.
Yeah.
But we are. She's being convinced, I think, to come down. And again, another USAT series name, a USAT series final name that has been added to the list. So we will see Erin Holland, and then Emmy Purcell, and now Medina will be joining them at the USAT series final. So she's just get that headset, the headset there.
Yeah.
Headset behind you there.
There we go.
Stick with us. And then stand on that mark behind. We're just directing them so that they're framed nicely for you. All right. So they're going to be framed so they're not off to the side. So we should be good. Medina, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Now I was looking. Congratulations!
Thank
Congratulations on the win. I want to talk about the back and forth because you were trailing until that final end, and the conditions. How much was all of that? Just a complete challenge.
Well, yeah, this wind all weekend has been crazy, and especially right now, like, even if you looked at Johanna, like, her arrow fell off her wrist. It's crazy. And with Barebow, you have to aim off. Like, I was aiming red-blue ring to the left because the wind is really strong, and you just really have to know your environment because at any moment, the wind can come in gusts and just mess everything up.
Confirm your age.
16.
You are 16,
Yeah,
and I'm sure I did refer to you beforehand as kind of up and coming. But I mean, would you say you are anymore? Even though you're 16, you've been among these elite barebow archers for a while. You are considered one of the elite barebow archers at 16. Where is for you? Where is that ceiling?
I don't know. I mean, I think Barebow needs more recognition. Of course, like, there's not. You can't really call us like pros because there's not really like a pro division for us, and I think we're so much of a community that I don't think you can call really like one person like an elite. Like, I think we're all like so tight knit that everybody's with each other, and I think it's anybody's game really. One day someone can be first, the next day 10th place can win it all. So I think we're all really elites together, and I wouldn't say that one person really is over the other.
What was the key to that win? Because again, you were never in front until that final end. What was there a turning point? Was there kind of a reset on your part? Where do you think that turning point came?
I think just keeping calm, and I think the first round is really the round where I kind of gauged everything and try to figure out the wind, and I think the wind was kind of constant towards the end to the right side. And I think the last two ends, and especially the last end, I was able to really hone down where I was aiming, and I wasn't really questioning it anymore, and I was confident with my shot.
And I was guessing a little bit. Was that your mum behind you? Is that your mum?
Yes,
Okay.
that is.
Well, and how much is that important to have her there? And if you do watch this back on YouTube, just be mindful. We did see you dancing.
Yes, we did.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, talk us through that as a form of relaxation with your mum there. Just how much is that part of helping you just reset and stay calm and focused?
I think now, like, having done these
like eliminations a lot, I've just learned like you can't be in your head. And honestly, like I like to think of it not as practice. You know, of course you have to make every shot count. You have to do your best on every arrow. But I think I just like to, you know, like dancing, just like having fun because, like I said, Barebow, I love Johanna. We're like best friends. You know, we shoot together all the time. And I think just not taking it that serious really helps to relax.
And you've qualified for the USAT Series final in Springfield, Missouri on August 12th. You've joined Erin and Emmy as obviously automatically qualifying. How much does that mean? Not just the gold medal here, not just a phenomenal performance, but the fact that you've made that inaugural event later in the year.
Yeah, I think it's great, and I think to have like Barebows, you know, be recognized like that, to be able to do events like that is great. And I'm obviously grateful. Like I said, anything could happen out here. The winds are crazy, everything's crazy. So to be able to have the opportunity, it's great. And that's why we do this, you know, so you can have that opportunity and build these relationships.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Fantastic work, fantastic
Thank
week,
you.
fantastic performance, and we look forward to seeing you. I assume you'll be at Buckeye?
No, I will not.
You'll be not be at
Right.
Buckeye, but we
Yeah.
will see you at Springfield, Missouri.
Yes.
Yes.
And congratulations once
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you so much. Wow. Great performance there from Medina, and a win against Cindy Zacco. Of course, she was referring to as Johanna. We've got one more event, one more match. This is the first time you've sat doing play-by-play, doing
Yes.
colour analysts. Just talk about that different perspective. You're having to kind of almost give greater analysis on something that you do all the time.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff that runs through your head when you're shooting, and it's different to vocalize it and also hear the interviews and be on this side of the questions and just get their answers and their opinions on how the match went, because sometimes you don't really get those answers. You're just watching from behind and guessing based off of their attitude and their shots, and it's different for sure.
And I will say, for somebody that lists shy on her bio,
she's very chatty. She's happy.
great talker and bubbly, and obviously buzzing after that win against, as she said, somebody she knows very well, she respects very well, and so there we go, 5 down, 1 to go. We've had Recurve, we've had Compound, we've had one of the two Barebows, and we are now into the final match of the afternoon of what has been a record-breaking SoCal Showdown. We're brought to you by Win and Win, our broadcast this afternoon. We are grateful to them, and of course we are grateful to Easton Foundations. But this is Alex de Vera and Lance Long, and that was trying to see who got us underway there. That was Alex. No, it was Lance. Lance on that far side, on the
It's
right
getting
hand side
windy for
behind.
this
But
shot.
yeah, that was.
But it doesn't phase him one bit.
Wow.
And we'll see how.
As a first arrow, and again, you will know far better than me. A first arrow, when that wind kicks up so late into your setup, to land an arrow like
Yes.
that, I mean, it was almost like he's going off pure instinct.
There is something to be said about there is the practice field just before, so they did get the chance to practice and get some idea of this field and this wind before they stepped over here, and I'm sure that helped. But there is sometimes that practice field, you step over here and the pressure is on and it feels completely different, but obviously he had no problems and he just launched that 10.
Wow. That was a phenomenal first arrow.
Yes.
And you head off tomorrow for the Pan Am Championships. I'm trying to. There's a list here. I'll find it. Just I've got so many tabs open on my computer. You wouldn't believe.
I believe it. I have just about as many tabs open on mine.
And here we go. I'm just looking at the team for
Yes.
Pan Am. Obviously, you'll be part of a team in the recurve women with Catalina Ginoriega, Casey Koffold, and Jenny Mucino-Fernandez, who we saw earlier. The men, Trenton Cowles, Nick Demore, who was involved earlier, got the silver medal. Brady Ellison, Christian Stoddart. Compound men, Gaius Carter, Jimmy Lutz, Louis Price, Isaac Sullivan, Lico Ariola, Olivia Dean, Sashiko Keane, who was a winner here last year, SoCal Showdown. and Alexis Ruiz. Sachiko was not here this week. The other three were Barebow men: Marcus Cooley, Rick Stonebreaker, Bin Tran, and Michael Weaver. 3 out of the 4 were here. Rick wasn't here this week. And then Barebow women: Cindy will be going, Kay Earls, she was here, Ellie Howe also here, Ava Jones, who was not here this week. So most of those that were competing this week at SoCal Showdown will be in Mexico in the coming days. Having Barebow there as well. I mean, obviously you guys travel as Compound and Recurve. Having Barebow just that bigger team, greater camaraderie, and you're all cheering each other on. One of the things that we talked about earlier, you know, the opportunity to go and see some of these cities. And you said, well, if we're doing well, no, we're sticking around, we're staying at the venue, we're supporting the teammates.
Yes, and I love that support. I love cheering loud. I love hearing my teammates cheer loud, and having volume of people helps with the volume of the cheering, and it's always nice to have more people standing and cheering you on, and I love the chance.
2-0 lead for Alex after that first down. We are into this second end of the final, the 6th and final match of the afternoon and of the 2026 SoCal Showdown. As we mentioned earlier, the next event is the Rebel Gear Buckeye Classic on the USAC Qualifier Series. You can go to usarchery.org. I think the early bird registration deadline closes this week, 25th. So get in to make the most of that. So there
Buckeye
we have
will
it.
be an exciting event for sure. Hopefully we don't get dumped on.
That
like
was
we did last year.
that was an interesting few days, and the folks there, Chris and the team at Buckeye Classic, are great to deal with, great to work with, and we always look forward to going to Dublin, Ohio. But yeah, last week, and look, an outdoor event, an outdoor sport, and Mother Nature occasionally doesn't play by the rules. So that was an interesting one. But thank you to also Win and Win for getting behind us with this, and as they do with so much of our events and so much of what we do at USA Archery, and Easton Foundation supporting SoCal Showdown, and again do so much around the sport. Sunscreen streaming out of my eyes. It's getting to that stage of the day now where it's all beginning to just kind of merge into one.
Oh yeah.
Good strong lead there for Alex. Some work to do for Lance. 26 points, played 22 with the first end. And then end number 2, also going the way of Alex, 24-20. An interesting one. Obviously, one of those, that first arrow from Alex was a 10, so he followed it up with 16 points. I think 2 8s.
There we go. Just a little low and left.
Decent 8 there from Lance. He's looking to get back into this. Again, it's the set system, so it's still not out of it. And a
7 to
from
match.
Alex. So.
And a quick execution on that one.
So there's a 7-8. Okay, there could be advantage to Lance here. Certainly after the first 2. Obviously, Alex has got to respond with this one, with his second arrow.
And a 9.
A 9. So we might be even keel. It's the last match of the afternoon.
Got what looks like 8-8-7 on the right side of the field.
23. And 7-7-9, 23.
Yeah.
So that'll be a point apiece. So that'll be 5-1 will be the score. A little opportunity also just to let you know, usarchery.org is the place to go if you wanted to find out about an upcoming event, whether it's a national, whether it's a local event, whether it's a club that you want to join, or a club that you want to find, whether it's a coach. You know, you're kind of getting into archery and you need to take that next step, whether it's about finding a coach. usarchery.org is the place to go, and there's lots and lots of information to help you with all of that. And then there's the USA Archery shop, loads of apparel and t-shirts and hoodies and equipment So it really is a one-stop shop to get everything you need, get up and running. Whether you're new to the sport, whether you're looking to take that next step, whether you're looking to get involved with a different club, whether you've moved location, and the collegiate program as well. That's something else that you'll find all of that information on usarchery.org. So it is confirmed 5-1.
Yes.
So the door is still ajar for Lance, but he's got some work to do with that. From here on in, it is faultless. He cannot afford another tie, and Alex will take the win. He'll get to that sixth point. So 23-23 there. So Alex has gone 26, 24, 23. Lance has gone 22, 20, 23 with their scores. We're into the fourth end, and we may need a fifth, but it is 5-1. If you are following the scores on between ends, it's 5-1. It's not 6-1. Just to confirm that. The next one for us will be Buckeye. That'll be our next broadcast on July 19th, I believe.
Yes, I think so.
Sunday afternoon in Dublin, Ohio. The Dairy Fields.
A beautiful venue.
It is a wonderful venue. It really is, and we take that place over.
Oh yeah, we do. We create parking spots that never should have been possible.
That could be the arrow that just cements victory for Alex.
Yeah.
He's still got to land this one.
And a 10 to finish
well,
strong.
I think if you're going to finish with an arrow, you're going to finish with a 10.
Yes.
And Alex has done that to confirm victory and the gold medal and a place in the USAT Series final for later in the year. That'll be August 12th in Springfield, Missouri. I assume you're going to be there as well, will you?
Oh, we'll find out.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll
You
find out.
got to build those points up.
Yeah. I don't like to say anything too early, but I'm pretty sure.
And it's the top 8. It's the top 8 from
Yes.
each division, senior division, men and women. So there'll be 48 archers that'll go through a World Archery World Cup final style elimination. And then we will have the gold medal matches that will be televised on that day, August 12th. And then we'll have Target Nationals and then US Open in Springfield, Missouri. Again, a spectacular venue that we enjoyed thoroughly last year. It was warm.
It was warm and windy,
warm.
but it was a good time. And then this year, Buckeye and Nationals, my dad, who judges archery events, will be judging both of those events.
Oh,
so
wow,
that'll be fun.
Fantastic. Well, we've got a few seconds, I think. I'm just looking out of my corner of my eye to make sure. So if I'm taking my eye off the camera, I do apologise.
Yeah.
I'm not ignoring you. We are just keeping an eye on Alex away to our right hand side. But
do you have a confirmed 7-1 for Alex?
it is a 7-1 win. So a convincing win, but a great silver medal for Lance. And we'll get some final words from him, but some final thoughts from you as we wait for Alex to come down. Just actually, he's going to be here shortly. Just hold that thought.
Holding that thought.
As that nothing speaks California than that beautiful scene there.
Oh,
I suppose we could be in Florida as well, couldn't we?
I suppose.
Alabama.
I like it's drier here.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Alex. Congratulations on that performance. When you started with that 10, did you think this is going to be easy? This is going to be quick?
No. The wind was doing some weird things. So, like, it would kick up, like, on the second or third arrow, I forgot. But it kicked up pretty hard, and I was, like, swaying back and forth. So I was just trying to keep it right in the middle or so. But I didn't really have to aim off or anything. It wasn't that bad.
And we look at those scores, 26, 24, 23. I mean, again, what does that tell you in terms of the challenge that both you and Lance were having out there?
For me, I've made 2 other gold medal matches. The shot clock is the biggest thing for me because my shot runs pretty long, so I have to be pretty adamant in terms of the pacing and stuff. So So yeah, I could. So both of us, I think, shot around 600 or so in quals, so we can shoot better. But under the pressure, it's like really really difficult, right? Like if you're whatever you hit anchor with at that time, like you got to go with it. There's no time to let go.
Alex, how do you prepare for that? Because obviously, your hope and expectation coming in this week was to make the gold medal match, but how much time do you have to start to shorten your preparation, that process from, getting ready and releasing the arrow, knowing that you're going to be up against the clock if you get to the gold medal match? How have you spent the last few hours mentally trying to adjust your approach?
So when I made the medal matches the last couple years, 2 years ago, so I learned a few things in terms of like just knocking the arrow as fast as possible. Making sure that I almost knocked it upside down one time, right? That'd be like horrible. Just those little things really really help, and I also was able to figure out where I can aim, and I didn't have to crawl that much, so that definitely helped. Like just cutting down those seconds is really really important, I think.
And you mentioned that 10 with the first arrow. Did you say kind of getting the arrow away quickly? Did you feel, because there was an adjustment in the breeze, there was an adjustment in the wind. Did you feel that, and that kind of accelerated your release, or were you more mindful of the clock? What led to that speedy release?
I was just honestly more mindful of the clock because my shot runs really really long, like very very long. So I don't want to be the guy that shoots Barebow and like gets a shot off like this. But it was interesting because like I think Renee Becker at Lancaster, who's very very good, like he didn't get a shot off. I think on the last arrow, and he was in his process so much that like it didn't matter. Like so I kind of kept on thinking about that, like just stay in the process and just it'll break when it breaks,
And how many have you won? How many of these gold medal matches have you won?
This is the only one.
And I didn't want to assume, so that's why I was kind of leading you down that path. So, what does it mean? Because again, you're up against strong opposition. Marcus Cooley was here, the defending champion. Some tough Barebow archers out there. What does it mean to you?
It means a lot. I've shot with Marcus many times. I've actually lost to him maybe 3 times in elimination. So. It's always good to see him and always good to shoot against him. And then like Jim shot incredible in qualification. So I had a match against him at Gator too, and that was really hard, and it was hard here too.
What was the difference this week then? What was the difference in kind of getting over that line and finally getting that gold?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Well, what we do know that you are going to be at the USAT Series final. You have qualified automatically for the USAT Series final in Springfield, Missouri. How much does that mean? The gold medal aside, obviously that's fantastic, but also qualifying for that event as well.
Oh yeah, that means a lot. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Like I'm just super happy to make the finals there.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It's going to be an exciting event.
Yeah, absolutely will be. Alex, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again, the 2026 SoCal Showdown champion in the Barebow division is Alex de Vera. And Olivia, thank you for joining us. Just again, reflect on the 6 matches we've seen, and reflect on the last 3 or 4 days that we've had, and here at SoCal Showdown. What are your thoughts? And just summarize it all.
I think we saw some good battles, some good matches, and we saw some pros shooting good shots, and we saw some pros having some confusing shots that were a little bit out of their norm, and we also saw some up and comers, some young shooters making some debuts, and I think we just saw some good shooting. We saw some confusing conditions for the Recurve field down on field 3, and just some normal, beautiful SoCal weather. Nothing out of the ordinary from the conditions here.
Oh, well, and there we go. There is the breeze, as is seen there. And as always, thank you to our sponsors. Thanks to Win and Win for being the presenting partner for this broadcast, and Easton Foundation. Just talk about just this process now over the next 24, 36, 48 hours. What is that mental switch like for you? You leave here, you leave the booth, something that you've done for the first time, and again, thank you, and well done. You are an absolute natural, but just making that mental switch over the next few days to get back into that competitive archery mode.
Oof, lots of sleep. lots of sleep. And then just when we get there, lots of practice, feeling out how the shot's going to be while we're there, because every day it's a little different, and you gotta feel it out, gotta see how it's going to be, and then just do your best. Try not to get too bogged down in the pressure, and just put them in the middle. It's easier to find them there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Olivia, thank you. All the best this week in Mexico, and all the best to the rest of the team as well, making their way for the Pan Am Championships. That's pretty much it from us, from the 2026 Easton Foundation's SoCal Showdown. Our thanks to all of the staff, all the volunteers, all the officials, the wonderful team here at the Archery Centre here in Chula Vista. They are always wonderful hosts. We look forward to the next broadcast, July 19th, for the Rebel Gear Buckeye Classic. Thanks also to the archers, the triumphant archers, the gold medalists in this record-breaking SoCal Showdown. We will see you in Dublin, Ohio, from Olivia and myself. Until then, bye for now.